Hey everybody. Hey everyone. This is the second episode to the Master Reviewer, and today I am going to be reviewing a lot of stuff, which is Spawn, Endgame, all 12 issues of it. As you can see. Hold on. 1 second, I'm having some issues. All 12 issues. I will show you the covers as the review goes on. So anyway, we're going to start off with the first issue. Yeah, the very first issue. It's not one of my favorite covers, but whatever. I got the second printing cover. I want the first one, but anyway. Anywho, the art is pretty good. And this issue is the return of Todd McFarlane. He is the person who created Spawn, and he wrote like the first 20 or 50 issues of Spawn before he stopped. And he's back. Well, was back. He came back and wrote the Endgame series. Sorry, my mask is in a weird spot. I'm just trying to fix it. Now my glasses are messed up. Issues. So many issues today. Anyway. Yes, Endgame Part 1. Really good. It's a very slow beginning to the story, but it starts off with Al Simmons, and he's in hell, which is where he started from. And he walks around hell until he gets to a certain spot, and somehow he ends up killing himself. Yeah, so the original Spawn, Al Simmons, dies at the beginning of this. I will show you his death picture real quick, just for you. See, look at that. That is what's left of Al Simmons. See right there, it says the king is dead. Or, but you did it, whatever. Later on, someone plays with his blood and it says king is dead above it. It's kind of funny. But anyway, yeah, it's written by Todd McFarlane. And Wills Portasio was the artist, with Todd McFarlane, who did digital inks, and Jen Hill did all the colors. Which it's, amazing art, as you saw in the one picture I just showed you. Let's see if I can find you something else that looks pretty good. Ah, yes, hold on. I'll show you the new Spawn. If I can find a decent picture of his face, at least. But the new Spawn is this guy named Jim Downing, and he wakes up in a coma, and no one knows who he is because he's been in the hospital for so long. So, that's, pretty interesting there. Oh yes, you got the Return of the Clown here, see? There's the Violator. And there's a picture of the regular clown right there. Yeah. Oh, I love the clown, he's badass. I'm glad they brought him back. But yeah, anyway, this guy Jim Downing wakes up after being in a coma for so long, no one recognizes him. And then we come to Endgame Part 2, which is, same team. There's a picture of Clown with Spawn. Sorry, there, now you can see Spawn. And, let's see. And Jim Downing is still in the hospital in this because he's no one seems to come and claim him. No one's ever really visited him, so no one really knows exactly who he is or where he really came from. See, here's a pretty decent picture of Jim Downing right there, and there's his nurse Sarah. Oh, isn't she cute? Yeah, see, there's Jim Downing. That is Spawn right there. See me? I'm poking his nose. But yeah, and again, this issue's kind of slow, but it's an interesting story so far, because you're like, what the hell is going on here? See, like, here's a picture of some dead guy. Just for all you bloodthirsty motherfuckers out there. Yeah. But yeah, again, the effects of Al Simmons killing himself have not really been explored yet in these. So yeah, part 1 and 2 are a little slow for the start of the Endgame story, in case you never read it. This mask, I don't think I'm really going to use this mask very often, just saying. But then we come to Endgame Part 3. If I remember, Endgame is great. This is where Jim Downing finally unleashes the Spawn costume. But he doesn't really realize it yet. Let's see. Here is a badass picture of the Spawn outfit. Because someone hired him to go after... Someone hired some type of metahuman to go after Jim Downing and bring him back so they can question him or whatever they really needed him for. But Jim Downing, tries to get away and gets cornered, so he kind of freaks out and loses control, and out came the new Spawn. Yeah, hooray for a new Spawn. Totally obliterates the other guy. And that's pretty much what happens in that issue. And then we come to Endgame Part 4. It's got a pretty interesting cover to it, but this one, it slows back down a little bit for this issue because Jim Downing gets transferred to another hospital for a little bit, and then he's finally released under the care of Sarah, his nurse, who I talked about earlier. She decides to bring Jim Downing into her home, and, well, you want to see how he repays her? He freaks out and turns into the Spawn again. Yay! Yeah, it's kind of cool looking. Still the same art team and writer as the other issues for this. They do start kind of switching up their artists later on in the story, kind of. But anyway, yeah. But in this, you kind of, you still don't really know what's going on with Jim Downing. He's still a mystery to everyone, like Wolverine was. It's kind of like the new Wolverine right now, because no one really knows what the fuck is his deal. So he's kind of a mystery. International Man of Mystery. If you know where that's from, I give you brownie point. But anyway, and then, the way that issue ends, Jim Downing is in Sarah's home, and somehow the Spawn creature gets unleashed. And that brings us to Endgame Part 5. And this is one of my favorite covers of any comic book ever. I love this cover so much for some reason. It's just awesome. I think they made Spawn look like badass here. But anyway, and this, it's pretty interesting. It has a lot of story. The clown makes a return. He's talking to this other demon guy. See, here they are, talking. See, that guy is the demon he's talking to, and there's Clown, and there's, a little bit better picture of the Clown. I really enjoy the art. It's very dark and sketchy. I love it. And the writing is just amazing. Todd McFarlane really did well with this. And I love how one Clown is explaining his plan to this guy. It's showing the Spawn doing all his things. Spawn, kind of reacting to his new power. I'm not entirely sure if the Spawn really knew what he was doing in this issue, because he doesn't really talk. So you never really know if he's sitting there freaking the hell out or if he's actually trying to control himself. So that's kind of interesting on here. And one good thing, or one cool thing about this issue is, I'm not going to say it, but a certain detectives come back at the very end of it, and they haven't been in the comic in quite a while. I think the last time you really saw them was right after the Armageddon series, and after that they just kind of disappeared from the Spawn comic books. I really need to do something about this mask. It's starting to annoy me. But anyway, sorry about complaining about the mask. But yeah, so Spawn is running around the city, fucking up people, and Clown is trying to recruit someone into his own army, which was, he's the Clown. Malborgio's dead. Al Simmons is dead. So everyone thinks the two top dogs of hell, Spawn, Al Simmons, and Malborgio are gone. So Clown is using that to his advantage to try and make his own army to fight against Heaven. And this brings us to Endgame part 6. In this issue, I don't remember very well, but oh yes, in this comes the introduction of a new angel. Let me find her for you real quick. Yeah, see, there's the new angel. She's not in this for very long. You'll find out why later. But she's new, and they also bring in this other guy, Mark Rosen. Where's a good picture of him? And he's doing a story on the hospital incident that Jim Downing was in, because it kind of caught fire for no reason. So, well, they think it's no reason. Jim Downing knows why, but no one knows he's connected to it. But this guy Mark Rosen is a reporter, and he kind of learns that somehow people who are in the same room all miraculously kind of healed for no reason. So he's kind of trying to figure out what's going on there. And later you do find out how all that healing happened. Yes, you do. But I don't think a whole lot really goes on in here. Jim Downing's still kind of walking around trying to figure out who he is and what's going on. And some mystery people kind of get introduced who seem like they might know Jim Downing. And this has a pretty cool little ending, though. It shows Jim Downing go and sit on Spawn's old throne. Yeah. Isn't that pretty cool looking? Sorry about the glare. I can't really fix that. But, sorry. Yeah, sorry I can't fix the glare for y'all. But anyway. So that's how that ends. Jim Downing sits down on the throne, and and then the angel finds him. What?